Katie, this is the woman I married. She is the love of my life. Rachel Ross. Got married to Catherine Ross. They've been going together since 1978. The voice, the mustache, and the reputation are all Sam Elliott. He's been the face of Western toughness and quiet power for decades. People watched him as a child ride across dusty fields and use that deep, calm voice to say hard things. Things haven't always been easy for the cool cowboy, though. There has been backlash from the public, false reports of his death, and recently, something even more personal. A confession. Not to a company or a co-star, but to his fans. Many people were moved to tears by what he said in it. Come with us as we look into Sam Elliott's personal life and all of its different parts. We will also find the moving message he left behind. A rough start and a dream that wouldn't go away. He was born in Sacramento, California, on August 9, 1944. His mom, Glennie, used to be a state champion diver. She later worked as a teacher and a fitness coach. His father, Henry Nelson Elliott, was an expert in keeping animals away from people. His dad and mom were both from El Paso, Texas, and one of Sam's relatives was a surgeon in the Battle of San Juan. Sam's family moved to Portland, Oregon, when he was 13. He went there as a teen and graduated from David Douglas High School in 1962. He then began his time at the University of Oregon. He tried to study English and psychology, but after only 2 terms, he quit. Sam went from living in Portland to going to Clark College in Vancouver, Washington without leaving. That's where things started to change. In a live show of Guys and Dolls, he played Big Jewel. The local newspaper said he should be a professional actress because of how well he played the part. He went back to the University of Oregon again after his 2-year study was over. Sam quit college for good after his father died of a heart attack. That event changed his whole life. He lost his dad when he was only 18. It hurt a lot. After many years, Sam said, "My dad died thinking I was crazy for wanting to be an actor." Sam said, "My father was a good, practical man, but he came from a different time. He didn't give up on his dream. Even when his father told him, 'You have a snowball's chance in hell of having a career in Hollywood,' Sam didn't give up. But having faith wasn't enough. Still, he had to work hard to stay alive. So, I had to pick up a shovel before I could hold a script. I had to use cement and grit to build dreams. At first, it wasn't easy to live in Los Angeles." Sam Elliott didn't become famous all of a sudden. He worked in construction to pay his bills. It's funny, but that job helped him get his big break. "Everything changed one day when I helped a family friend with some cement work. It turned out that friend was an assistant director. He asked Sam to come see him on set, which is how Sam got his start in the movie business. I got my big break when I poured cement," Sam joked. Soon after, Sam got his first role in a movie. In the 1969 movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He was a card player. It wasn't a big part. It wasn't even much of a part. Sam said, "I had one line. It wasn't on camera, and I was just a shadow on the wall." But to him, that little part meant everything. He was finally on set, and he got to see Robert Redford work. He smiled and said, "That was fun." Sam began to get more chances after that. In the early 1970s, he was on TV shows like Gunsmoke and Judd for the Defense. Besides Lancer, he was in a few episodes of Ren's Low. It was then time for a part in Mission Impossible. He wasn't the main character, but he was in a big show. That was very important. After that, the beer ads came on. He walked like a cowboy in Falstaff beer ads in 1972. He was great for the part. The way he looks, talks, and acts. It seemed like the part was made just for him. But they didn't become big stars right away. When they did, it was worth the wait. Both successes and failures. In 1975, Sam Elliott made a big step forward. In the TV movie I Will Fight No More Forever, he played Charles Wood. The play about Chief Joseph and the Nez Perce family was very moving. Sam had a lead part that showed how strong and deep he is as an actor. It wasn't just about how he looked like a cowboy anymore. People began to see how talented he really was. Then, in 1976, he was in Lifeguard as Rick Carlson. That movie did pretty well. He played a Southern California lifeguard who began to think about his own life. The story was very about people. They said it wasn't satisfying, which isn't a good thing. However, they saw Sam Elliott, who has some beefcake value, projects a character who is mostly a passive reactor, they said. The movie helped Sam get ahead, even if they didn't give him enough credit. He wasn't just a face in the background anymore. But not every part was a win. He was cast as Ael Knievel in a TV pilot in 1974. That sounded fun, and El Navel was a well-known artist at the time. The idea for the show was crazy. In a motorcycle race, Sam's character would go up against a female stunt rider. The plane didn't go very far. CBS didn't make it into a full show. After many years, someone told Sam that the pilot was on YouTube. His answer was, "F me. Listen, we all have bad days. And if we're lucky, we make it through." That's the kind of guy Sam is. He doesn't act like every part was perfect. It's his. He laughs about it. He goes on. But even though things went well and badly, people always loved something about Sam. It was clear from his voice and body language that he meant every word he spoke. It was more important for him to have something real than to play a role. That was building a strong business. He became better known as a character player in the late 1970s and early 1980s. He got one of his first big parts in the miniseries Aspen, which came out in 1977. He worked with Farrah Fawcett and Catherine Ross in Murder in Texas 1981, which was a few years later. Catherine Ross would later become his wife. He was also in a Death in California movie with Cheryl Ladd in 1985. Elliott worked with Tom Selleck on the 1979 miniseries The Sacketts, which was based on Lewis's stories. Fans loved them together so much that they were cast together again in The Shadow Riders, 1982, which was also based on a lore story. These Western parts are a great fit for Elliott's voice, look, and calm energy. Along with Cher, he played a key supporting part in Mask 1985. And in Prancer, 1989, he showed a softer side by playing a strict but caring dad. People got to see a different side of him. Outside it looks tough, but inside it's warm. Also during this time, he had guest roles on a lot of TV shows, such as Hawaii 5, Felony Squad, Gunsmoke, and Lancer. He also made a number of TV shows. In 1995's Buffalo Girls, he played Wild Bill Hickok in a big movie. His first movie part was as the lead in Gone to Texas, which came out in 1986. Elliott made Houston seem like a brave fighter and a smart guy in charge of the government. The story went through Houston's time as governor, his work with the Cherokee Nation, and his part in freeing Texas from Mexico. In 1989, Elliott was in the action movie Roadhouse with Patrick Seas. He played Wade Garrett, Seas' teacher and friend. It was another tough guy part, but this one had heart. Sam and his wife Catherine Ross were in the 1991 movie Canager, which was based on a book by Louis L'Amour. Fans loved how well they worked together on screen, which didn't happen very often. But things were getting worse for Elliott. In the early 1990s, he had two of his most famous movie parts, which made him a legend. As Brigadier General John Buford, Sam Elliott played the part in the 1993 war movie Gettysburg. Back in the same year, he played Virgil Herp in Tombstone, which was a huge hit at the time. It stood out how cool and steady he was, even with big names like Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer. After that, in 1998, The Big Lebowski came out. Elliott didn't have a lot of screen time in this movie, but he was very important. He played the stranger, a figure that looks like a cowboy and tells the story of the movie. His deep voice and cool delivery made the part stand out. He always chose strong parts. In 2002, he played Sergeant Major Basil Plumley in the movie We Were Soldiers. Plumley was a brave and strict soldier. His role as General Thaddeus Ross in the 2003 action movie Hulk cost a lot of money. Elliott wasn't always the lead, but people liked his character. He was smart, strong, and showed real emotion in every part. It was impossible not to want to listen to him. Don't forget. That's what made him unique. After that, though, new parts and a whole new group of fans came along. In the 2005 movie Thank You for Smoking, Sam Elliott played a man who used to be a cowboy model. Twist. He played a guy who had lung cancer after years of smoking ads. Elliott was the only one who could play such a serious part with a message. He did the role of Ben the cow in the animated movie Barnyard in 2006. Even a cartoon cow could sound smart and strong in that voice. It was a fun change. Then, in 2007, Elliott made his first movie based on a comic book. He played Carter Slade in Ghost Rider. In the same year, he played the brave traveler Lee Scoresby in The Golden Compass. Nicole Kidman, Christopher Lee, and Daniel Craig were just a few of the big names in that movie. At the head of American Airlines, he had a small but cool role in Up in the Air. A small part, but one that stands out. Comics who watched the show Parks and Recreation will remember him as Ron Dunn, the calmer, more natural version of Ron Swanson. Elliott showed up a few times, but each time he left his mark. In 2010, he did voice work for Marmaduke, and in 2014, he was cast as a football teacher in Draft Day. He came back in a big way in 2015. Elliott played in the romantic movie I'll See You in My Dreams and acted with Lily Tomlin in Grandma. He was also in Fire Looks Like This. He won the Critics' Choice Television Award that same year for his role in Justified as the best guest star in a drama series. That was the start of a lot of success, praise, awards, and speaking out. Fans and reviewers alike started to like Sam Elliott even more. He joined the cast of the Netflix show The Ranch, which also stars Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson's son. He was seen by younger people and everyone was reminded of why he was so good. He was in Grace and Frankie and played Butch in Pixar's The Good Dinosaur. But The Hero 2017 was what really brought him back to the public's attention. Elliott played an old Western star in The Hero who was past his best years. The part was very close to home. A lot of his friends and critics thought it showed everything they liked about him. It was written by Award Circuit that Elliott fits the part perfectly. The Hero brings out all the best in him. Later that same year, he was in The Man Who Killed Hitler, a crazy movie with a crazy title. As always, Sam played it seriously and with strength. Then he made one of his most famous movies. Bobby Maine is the older brother of Bradley Cooper's character, and he played him. It was a strong and emotional show from him. Elliott got the National Board of Review Award for Best Supporting Actor for this part. After that, he was up for an Oscar and a Screen Actors Guild Award. Sam said this about his first Oscar nomination: "I think the thing off the top of my head might be It's About Effing Time." Fans agreed. He had earned that moment after working in the business for so long. Elliott played in 1883, the movie that came before Yellowstone, in 2022. He played Shea Brennan, a tough and complicated man who led a group of tourists through the rough western lands. People really liked the show. Screen Actors Guild Award winner Sam got the award for Best Male Performance in a miniseries for his part. Sam Elliott wasn't done making a difference, even after decades in Hollywood. Behind the cool face and cowboy voice was a man who had been through a lot, some of which the public never saw. The casting couch, the truth, and not having any guilt. He talked about his experiences with the casting couch in the 1980s, which wasn't something that many male artists did. He told the Dayton Daily News in 1980, "You cannot believe the casting couch stories. I could tell you the cliches are all true." Elliott said that men and women in the business had asked him to work for them, but he always said no. But I have to live with that guilt, he said. It probably hurt me. These words say a lot about Sam Elliott. They show that he stuck to his beliefs even if it cost him something. Years later, when the #MeToo movement started, Elliott fully supported it. In an interview with Variety, he called it the best thing that had happened to Hollywood in a long time. He said that in Hollywood, people often did whatever it took to stay alive. But what broke his heart the most were the young, innocent people who came with dreams but were ripped apart by the system. Sam Elliott has always been honest and strong, even when things were loud and changing around him. Another thing is that while many actors have adapted to the fast-paced world of fame and technology, Sam has chosen a different path. One big choice he's made shows how he stays grounded: he doesn't use social media. These days, most stars are on social media, sharing news, selfies, and behind-the-scenes moments with fans. But not Sam Elliott. He doesn't have email, Twitter, or Instagram. He told AARP magazine, "Everywhere you look, people are looking at their hands. Everyone in restaurants has their phone out, so it looks like you're sitting in a park full of pumpkins. No one is talking to each other." That's the reason he stays away. Real ties are better for him. He prefers talking to people in person over watching TV or movies. It hasn't hurt his fame at all. He is still known by many. His voice, not his face, is what most people notice first. People hear my words before anything else. He said that his voice was unique from a very young age. His first job was in church choirs as a tenor. Then he went up to baritone, and finally he became a deep bass. At that moment, I knew that my voice would be my instrument. His voice is now known for being deep and calm. He also has a trick he uses to avoid being seen. He laughed, "Now if I want to hide, I just shut up." People talk about more than just that sound, though. He has been married to the same woman for decades and their marriage is still strong. A love story that began with a quiet look. Sam Elliott had a small part in the movie back in 1969. He was just an extra in a bar scene. But on that set, something important took place. The first time he saw Katharine Ross was as an actor. At that point, she was already a big star thanks to her part in The Graduate. Sam didn't talk to her. I was afraid to talk to her at that time. He said she played the lead role. I was an important extra. After almost 10 years, fate brought them back together. This time, they worked together on the 1978 movie The Legacy. They finally talked and got to know each other after that. But it wasn't easy. Ross was still married to her fourth husband at the time. They split up in 1979, and she married Sam Elliott 5 years later, in 1984. From the start, they had a strong bond. Elliott almost turned down the part in Mask because he and Ross were on their honeymoon when they were offered it. Over the years, they've stayed married, which isn't often seen in Hollywood. Elliott once told her the secret to their long and happy marriage. "We share a sense of what's right, but we also work hard to be together. You don't just ignore the ST, you work past it. To keep ties going, do that." The story of Sam and Katharine shows that it takes work to love someone deeply. It's not just fun times. It's about being there for each other no matter what. But Sam Elliott has always been himself, even though he has a strong marriage, a long career, and a sound that everyone knows. He never wanted to make money. Work was always the most important thing. It's about money, movies, and doing the right thing. Someone who has worked in Hollywood for more than 50 years has made a name for himself that people respect. He's been in a huge number of movies and TV shows. He has won prizes. He's doing well and making money. Celebrity Net Worth says Elliott is worth around $20 million. But that wasn't the point. He made it clear in an interview with The Guardian. "I've never worked for money." He cares a lot about the story, the writing, and how the character makes him feel. He said it's not about making money. It's about what's written. He's been in some movies that not many people saw because of that, but he doesn't regret it. He's happy with the decisions he made. Sam doesn't care too much about his reputation either. He does not care about what other people say about him. How he feels and the people he works with are what matter to him. He said it's all about having fun with the process. You're doing something wrong if you can't enjoy that. Then he added a line that says it all about how he feels about the good and bad parts of life and playing. You eat the process sometimes. The process can eat you up sometimes. These words reveal the real Sam Elliott. A man who cares about being honest, working hard, and keeping grounded. He doesn't do what everyone else does. He doesn't want to be famous. He always remembered where he came from. You can stay away from social media, laugh at mustache memes, or turn down parts that don't feel right. He's always done what felt right. That's why people keep coming back. Not just for the deep voice or the cowboy hats, but also for Sam Elliott, the man behind them. The real thing. Goofs in your career. Sam Elliott's voice and face are some of the most recognized in Hollywood. He became the face of the strong, quiet cowboy because of his deep draw and famous mustache. But things didn't always go well. Sam once said that he almost killed his career before it even began. He told Business Insider in 2017 that things weren't always easy while he was pushing his movie The Hero. He said, "I thought I eked myself out of a job." Sam thought The Hero was an important movie. After years of playing supporting roles, it was his first big lead part. He played Lee Hayden, an old Western actor who was having a hard time with getting older and the demands of the business. It was a story that hit home. Elliott and Brett Haley had worked together before on the movie I'll See You in My Dreams. As the movie was being pushed, they became friends and later worked together again. The Hero was written by Haley and his writing partner with Sam in mind. Elliott said, "Every actor's dream is that someone writes something just for them." He also said, "Over the years, people have written parts for me, but I've never had anyone give me a script where I was on every page and was written with me in mind." Even though Sam had been acting for a long time, this moment was very important to him. In a new way, it made him feel seen. But just when things looked like they were going well, a storm of trouble was about to hit him. When words hurt someone, say sorry in public. A lot of people didn't like Sam Elliott after he said some harsh things about the Oscar-winning movie in 2022. Elliott called the movie a piece of and said bad things about how it portrayed cowboys on the WTF show with Marc Maron. He also said things that made it sound like he didn't like the movie's sexual themes and asked about the director, Jane Campion's past. Not many people laughed about it. A lot of people didn't like what he said about the movie, its stars, and Campion, who was from New Zealand. Later, Campion replied that Elliott's ideas were sexist, racist, and gay. She even said, "He's not a cowboy, he's an actor." The movie's star, Benedict Cumberbatch, replied, but he didn't name Sam. He talked about how wrong it is to think that everyone must live a straight or normal life just because of where they come from or what they do for a living. Sam Elliott finally accepted he was wrong. He said sorry during a Do event. "I wasn't very clear about it." He told them, "I said some things that hurt people, and I feel terrible about that." He also said, "The gay community has been great to me my whole career. Friends at every level and job. I'm sorry I hurt any of those friends or anyone else with the words I used." He also told the Power of the Dog cast he was sorry. "They are all great actors," he said. Samuel revealed that he had been trying to talk about the movie but hadn't been able to do so well. And in particular, Benedict Cumberbatch. "I can only say that I'm sorry, and I am." Even though he said sorry late, it was sincere. There was talk that he was dead. A fake death that got a lot of attention. People all over the world spread the news on social media in August 2023 that Sam Elliott had died. Fans all over the world were shocked by the news. A tribute to Sam Elliott and 10 minutes ago Sam Elliott his last goodbye on his deathbed were 2 YouTube movies that talked about him. His birth year of 1944 was shown next to the year 2023 in thumbnails, which made it look like he had died. The vids caught on fire very quickly. Someone said, "Let's keep Sam Elliott's memory alive and well," which made things even less clear. It wasn't just YouTube where these false death stories spread. They were also on Facebook and Twitter. Some people thought it was true, while others didn't, but none of the major news sites said anything. That's because the story wasn't true. Sam Elliott was still alive and not dead. Unreliable YouTube channels like Ripples in Time and Celeb Breaking News spread the stories. These channels have a history of lying. The same channels had also put up fake vids of celebrities like Mike Tyson dying. Some news sites, like Sportskeeda and The Sun, reported the story but didn't give a real source. They even used a quote that was clearly taken from some other scams. There is a long list of famous people who have been scammed by this fake. He's still alive and well. Do not believe what you see on the web. This exact line had been used before. Phrase for phrase in lies about other famous people. It was some of the work of the site Media Mass, which is known for sharing fake news. This wasn't even the first time Sam had this happen. There was a similar story going around online in 2019 that he had died peacefully in his sleep. But even though these lies are told, Sam Elliott is still living. He's still working, so he's not only still living. Get back to work. Sam Elliott doesn't seem to be slowing down at all, even after all the rumors. In Season 2 of the Paramount Plus show Landman, he will be back on film. Taylor Sheridan makes the show. He was also in charge of Yellowstone in 1883. Sam had worked with Sheridan before on 1883, where he played Shea Brennan, a sad cowboy who helps people get across the plains. In Landman, Sam will be a regular this time. The show is set in Texas and is about people who work in the oil and gas business. Bill Thornton plays the lead role, and he said that the part was written just for him. Okay, so what's Landman about? It's about people called landmen who work closely with landowners to get oil and gas rights. They take care of leases, talk to billionaires, and work with big businesses. Tommy Norris, played by Thornton, lives in the middle of that world. Fans are excited to see Sam Elliott back on screen, even though they don't know much about his part yet. His past work with Sheridan and his ability to bring calm, depth, and power to every role make him a perfect fit for this gritty series.